from your listening device all the way into your agent's psyche. It's Real Estate Between the Lines with Brian Lee. Teaching you things you didn't know you needed to know to help you become a legendary agent and turn your clients into raving fans.
Welcome to Real Estate Between the Lines. I'm your host, Brian Lee. I'm all about helping agents learn things they didn't know they needed to know beyond just marketing and helping them turn their clients into raving fans. Welcome, everybody, to episode 3. It's not about you. I always love this thing, Cate.
Yes.
Toby Keith.
Yes.
It's all about me. It's all about I. It's all about number one. Oh, not
It's
today.
not.
It's not about me.
Wah, wah.
This is the sucky episode for Brian, because normally we like to talk about Brian.
Always.
So this episode is all about reminding you as an agent that you have a client.
Yes.
That client has hired you for a purpose, and that purpose is your knowledge, your expertise, your ability, your help in navigating them through probably the most important and biggest transaction thing that they're ever going to get into. One of the things I like to remind agents, and it's something that you know, but you need to remember this every single time, is that a lot of the clients that we help, they are buying their home. And I do stress that word, home. For a real estate agent, we use the word house, and we think of it as this sterile black and white
property,
thing. Exactly.
transaction.
And it's a transaction, exactly, things like that. So it's a unit, it's a number. But for our client, it's not. And even for commercial transactions, I mean, we're talking about somebody's money and their investment.
Business.
But at the same time, it's something more dear to our client, something that we won't, that we have, of course, for our own home, but that when we're helping a client, we don't have that personal connection.
Yes.
It's not like, this is my perfect home, because I'm looking at some of the things that my clients buy and I'm like, that's what you wanted? Okay.
No, I agree. And that's something I will say I have changed my verbiage when I'm working with a client. I never use the word transaction. I don't use the word house. Sometimes I'll use house, but I don't use the word property. Usually it's home or different features or the process is what I say instead of transaction. Because transaction, like you said, it feels very sterile and mechanic and not fun for the client. This has got to be a little warm and fuzzy for them because it's a lot of money and they've got to feel good about it.
Exactly. And we talk about changing your mind, and sometimes the words that we use in doing that kind of help set that, because again, we deal with transactions all day long on an in and out basis. You know, have brand new agents that maybe deal with 10, 15 transactions a year, which is not bad. Have higher end agents that are handling, a couple hundred transactions a year. Yeah. And we have this client that has this one transaction that they've dealt with once in 3, 5, maybe even 10 years, or the very first time ever. Yes. And so it's so easy for us to get wrapped up in that sterile, mechanical, transactional mindset. And sometimes it's just the words that we use that helps us remember that this is more than just a transaction, that I'm here to guide you and give you the information so that way you can make an informed decision, so that way you make the best decision for your set of circumstances that makes my client happy. Yeah. That's a big piece of
Exactly. Kind of like I always reference a doctor's office. You're a patient, you go into the waiting room, you're sitting there. When the doctor comes in, you want to feel like you're the only patient of that doctor and that they're going to listen to you and treat you as a human being, not as a specimen or whatever you would call that,
Specimen.
I don't know.
I'd like to think that a doctor thinks of me more than just a specimen. And I'm thinking a Petri dish or some sort of thing that I feed into.
It's not just a patient. You're a person. Yes. But our clients need to feel like they are people to us as well, not just a client, another transaction. So absolutely, the clients first. Yeah.
So again, it's just shifting your mentality, and it's something that we're going to hit on throughout. And then we'll never stop reminding you that we have to take a client first mentality, not commission first, a client first mentality. And we've mentioned it before several times, is that you are projecting what you're focused on. And if I'm focusing on, I'm using words like transactions and units and dollars and thinking about what I need as an agent and not thinking about my client as that I'm focusing on me, then I am not focusing on my client. And my client knows that. They sense that.
They will feel it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And with that too, talked about before as well, is that your clients will also sense your inspiration, your passion, your happiness for them, your genuine nature, your attitude that you project from that. If you're focused on them, people get it.
Yeah.
Whether it's you call it the energies that we share, the chi, it can be whatever you want to define it for yourself. But there is no denying that there is something that people pick up on that they hear or are lacking.
Vibe.
It's like, I just feel like you're a sleazy agent. All you want to do is sell me this home, and
Exactly. You're a salesperson.
Exactly.
You're not here. I always like to say that we are in the service industry, not sales. We may be here to sell ourselves, but we're not here selling a client a house. It's either the right fit for them or it's not. If you're trying to make this house work for them, don't. You're putting them in the wrong spot, and it's going to hurt you in the end, hurt them and you.
It does, and even as an agent, and Cate, I know you deal with this on a more regular basis than I do. I manage our office, and you're more in the trenches on a daily basis. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that sometimes sometimes clients need a little bit of a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need to get beyond themselves. So there is a balance there a little bit.
Absolutely.
That I want to take care of my client and serve their needs, and sometimes helping them serve their needs is to kind of say, look, we've looked at 20 homes already, and you just have to accept that we're probably not going to find the perfect, most ideal home. That we're looked at the past 3 homes, and 2 of those 3 meet 90% of what you want, maybe. I don't know. And you're not going to find that other 10%. Or home A had the 10%, and this home has the other 90. Granted, if we combine them somehow, metaphorically or whatever, physically.
I always say to my clients, you have to give up something. It's either price, location, or the details in the house that you're looking for. So you're going to have to give on something a little bit. You can get everything you want, but then you're going to pay for it. You're going to be over budget. So if you want to stay on budget, then we're going to need to bend on some other things.
So that's where it ties into. I don't want to get in the weeds on that, but again, it's recognizing that when we're talking about those things with our client, when we know that they're not going to find that perfect thing, I still want to be respectful. I want to get them what they want, but I also realize that this perfect situation is not going to happen. So, and people will respond to that. They'll respect you for that, instead of like, again, this home doesn't have the kitchens, but who cares about kitchens? Right. You're not listening to that client. You're not serving their needs, and that's what's going to put them off. One of the mantras that we use in our office that I invented. I'll just go ahead and take credit for it. But I love this thing.
It's all about you.
It's like that, got it? That's right. It's not about me. No, it's not about you guys. It is about me. Is the idea of the 4 C's. It is client, co-agents, company, and commission, in that order. So client, co-agents, company, commission. We talk about it in our office all the time. We've kind of hit on what client means and all that, and the importance of that, setting them ahead of everything else, that they are the primary purpose. That's license law says we watch out for them. Helping them doing what they want to do will get them down the road and get us to where we want to be. So we've kind of hit on that already. I'd like to talk about the other ones just for a moment, though. Co-agents, why are they second in line? Shouldn't I be above my co-agents? And again, you can take that perspective, but I don't think that. And I know in our office we don't either. And the reason we don't do it is for a couple of things. One is that agents, stop thinking of your co-agents as competitors. They are not. I'm going to flat out say it, and I get a little passion here because I get so sick and tired of hearing agents talk about how much I've got to take somebody else out, that I don't want to share information, that I don't want you to know how to do something because somehow by holding you back, it gets me ahead. Guys, there are so many transactions out there. And when you start taking on that attitude, that also gets projected to your clients. So if you're somebody that's in the office that is helping other co-agents, you're helping train somebody, maybe you're a mentor, you teach them. I'm an educator. I learn more from teaching from my students than I have ever learned by sitting in a classroom and learning. I'll listen to an instructor and I'll definitely get some good information from them, but me teaching and getting the getting the feedback from my students and the other agents that I speak with takes me so much further. They're not competitors. They are going to help you get ahead. So if you want to get there, help them. Take a piece of that with you.
Absolutely. And I would say the other side of it is every agent is different. We all have strengths, and every client is looking for something different in an agent. So if you go on a listing presentation and you're up against an agent from ABC company and you're XYZ company and you're looking at them solely as a competitor, first of all, you're looking at yourself. All you're thinking about is, I want this listing. I want this listing. Are you thinking about the client? Are you really the best fit for that client? Could that other agent maybe be the best fit? And the other thing would be just, like you said, is there something that maybe that other agent does that you could take from them to learn from them, or vice versa? We've talked in the past. I meet with some seasoned agents, some ladies we meet regularly. We're all from different brokerages, and we try to meet to chit-chat and brainstorm ideas. Yeah, you could look at them as we're all competitors because we're all with different companies. We may go on the same listing presentation, but that is very rare. But either way, even if they get the listing over me, bravo to them. You know what? It's okay.
Exactly.
We're
Sharing
all
the
in this
wins,
together.
and if nothing else, it also lifts you up because, again, you're cheering somebody else on.
Yeah.
They're going to cheer you on. Again, when you're down, they're going to be there like, it's okay. I know you didn't get this listing today, and maybe I got it from you. Maybe somebody else did, but you're going to get the next one, as opposed to, oh, you're a jerk. You got it from me, and I don't like you.
And you treat them with
and all
respect
this.
and congratulate them on the listing and whatnot. Then you know what? If you end up writing an offer on one of their listings 2 years down the road, they're going to be like, you know what? That person was great and kind about the fact that they didn't get the listing. I'm sure that they're probably going to be great to work through the transaction with.
And they're going to be respectful. And again, it's a change of attitude. It's a change of mentality that gets you to shift your attitude too, because I mean, the bad people get weeded out. The bad people that you don't like, that maybe there is some justification for some negative attitude toward an agent or, whatever, a professional in the industry. But those people go away. And if there's more of us than them, then everybody wins.
In the end, the reputation of real estate agents will move up closer to a doctor or a nurse as opposed to a car salesman or whatever, having a negative light around us. So I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The third thing that we talked about in that list was the company. The company is even ahead of myself now. So, gosh, we're really not talking about me. We're talking about our clients. We're talking about our co-agents, and now we're talking about the company we work for. Why is our company ahead of us? Well, because we want to make the owners rich. That's the what it's all about.
Duh.
I mean, Cate and I own our own company, so the part of this reason is we're hoping our agents listen to this and they realize that
because we want their commissions. Yeah, totally. That's it.
But it gets back into that respect thing. Again, I'm out talking to my clients, and you guys have been out to various places, whether it's a McDonald's or a national chain or something like that, and you can just tell that the employees there that work there just hate working for this place. I mean, they're doing it because they're, maybe feel like they're stuck, they're in a rut. I know it's tough for agents to change companies, and they can't stand the management, they can't stand who they work for. But I'm just doing my own thing. Forgive me. Screw the office. Screw those people. I'm just going to do my own thing. And I've got their name, but whatever. That gets projected to your clients too. That gets projected in your company. Brings you down, pulls you into that negative, depressive type mentality and all that.
Think about if there's another agent in your office that has, done something negatively. It will end up reflecting on you. It reflects on the company, which ends up reflecting on you. So keep in mind something that Brian has taught me is and we've tried to teach the kids, is that all of your actions affect other people. So everything you do is affecting multiple people. So if you decide I'm angry at this client and I'm going to go spew something negative on Facebook or whatnot, that's affecting your company and all of your coworkers as well, not only yourself. So think about the fact that, like I said, your actions are affecting the company as well, because it's going to reflect on everybody.
Exactly, and you want your company to stand behind you. So again, if you're positive about your company, if you're thinking about your company and the company that you work for from that perspective, it does get projected. And again, people get behind you there. Again, your company gets behind you. And you know what? If you can't get behind your company, if ultimately you're just like, you know what, I hear what you're saying, Brian, but I just don't like my people, the people that I work with, get out.
Go find somewhere else.
Get with the company that is. I know it's a pain. I know you have to go buy new signs and change your marketing and all these pieces.
But it's worth it.
If it absolutely is, and it will hold you back as much as you don't think it is. You might take a small hit for a second because you made the change, and you have to go through the pain of switching everything over. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be so much further ahead in the future down the road by getting out of that situation if you feel that way. But again, if it's just you don't like something that your company does, talk with the company leaders, talk with them, and maybe they can work something out for you there. So that way you can really develop that. And the fourth thing is back to you. It is, you want to take care of yourself. You want to get to that. So the commission of that is last. Do the other things, and that income will come to you. So that's the point of putting the commission last. It's client, co-agents, company commissions last, because by taking care of our clients, respecting our co-agents, putting out good words with our company, our commission's going to benefit from it, not the marketing that we do and all those pieces. Those pieces will help feed into it, but you want to be long-lasting, you want to be sustaining, you want to be successful, you want more units, more money, and all that kind of thing. I'm behind you. Just go about it the right way.
Yeah, one of the things we'll dive into on another podcast, but Brian's always been a really good proponent of this, is the idea of paying yourself a salary, and that way that paycheck is not in the background, like, oh, when is that going to come in? I need this closing. When you're tracking your numbers and whatnot, you can track and estimate your units, maybe your volume, but my suggestion is to not track your income until things are closed. Don't count on that commission. They always say, don't count on it until it's actually closed. If you're not looking at the commission until after it closes, then it's not in the forefront of your mind, and your client's going to feel that. If they don't feel that you're working for the dollar, then they're going to feel that you're working for them. So like you said, put the commission last. I wouldn't even track that until you've actually closed it. And if you can pay yourself on a salary, you won't even worry about the commission at that point. You just know that it's going to be coming in regularly, and you're going to be getting a regular paycheck.
Yeah, so. And again, it's putting that in the back of your mind too, because your clients will recognize it. If you're putting commission at the head of that instead of client, instead of coworkers, instead of all that, people see it. They sense it. They know it. You become that salesperson that is sleazy, slimy, and all you want is the commission. And that's not what you want to get to. One of the things that we've talked about too on the podcast is remembering that there's a legal side of this too. I being an instructor, I know I always go back to that thing, and I don't want to be that person that's the dad figure, like, don't you forget you have this responsibility. But I kind of get into this thing is that agency means something here, guys. Yeah. It's easily to forget. It's something that when you went through pre-license, you remember your cold AC. Remember, you got to have your care and obedience and loyalty and all that kind of stuff, accounting and confidentiality and all that stuff. We got to think about all those things. That actually means something, and it really does. And it's so easy to gloss over. But stepping away from this whole perspective of changing your mind. Or not change your mind, but thinking about your client first, is remembering that you are an expert here. Your client has hired you. We've used the analogy before of the patient-doctor thing. I'm a patient. I have some ailment. I've got my knee hurts, my foot hurts, my chest hurts, something like that. I'm going to a doctor. I'm not expecting them to screw around. I'm not expecting them to be lackadaisical. I'm not expecting them to kind of give me a 3-second overview and say, oh, you're fine, or here's this medicine or whatever. I want the best care. I want the best ability. I want you to hear me. I want you to look at me. I want you to diagnose me. I want you to figure out what it is. Or if you can't, say, hey, this is beyond my knowledge. I'm not familiar with it. I need to get you to the expert over here. That's how we need to take this, is that we are that expert. Our clients come to us for our care, for our ability, for our knowledge. And if we don't have it, tell our clients, I'm sorry, I can't help you. So I could keep this sale. I could keep you as a client, could keep this transaction because I want my commission. Or I could think, you know what, this client needs somebody that has something that needs something a little bit more than I have. So either I turn them over to somebody else and get a referral fee maybe from that, or maybe I could even partner with another agent. Again, that's where co-agents are going to be ahead of here, that maybe there's a co-agent that has dealt with a transaction that you haven't dealt with, maybe a short sale, for example. You've never done one, and another agent is in an office that has, and you guys partner together. So that way you are taking care of that client. Taking care of that client, and that's what agency does. Cate and I the other day were on a plane and we were talking about ranking professions, and there was a Gallup poll or some survey, some national survey came out, and they were and it was a ranking of least or best to worst or most respected professions, or trusted professions, and nurses and doctors ranked at the top, and agents, real estate agents, were fifth from the bottom. We were really low, and it's because of that negative attitude that we take on, that commission first mentality. That it's not about it, that it is about me. I'm an agent. It is about me, and it should be about our clients. So we get into that. I don't want to get into the weeds here, but I've got a very passionate topic too that falls under this whole agency thing, and it's limited or dual agency, depending on what your license law allows for. So I'm not going to get on a soapbox here. Well, I am.
I'll get on there with you because I am so in the same boat here. I agree with you.
So, I mean, all of you are licensed agents. You probably or should know what limited dual agency is, but what we're talking about here are transactions where you as an agent represent both sides of the transaction. So let's just talk about a purchase transaction of whatever. There's a buyer and a seller, and you are the singular agent handling both clients in that transaction. Now, some states allow that. Some states don't. We are in Indiana, and Indiana does allow it to happen. There's some steps we have to go through. There's some disclosure. Some
limited abilities that we have with each client. We have to be able to explain that to the client. But
so we have that, and some states don't, but for the states that do, just remember that you are serving two masters now at this point. Our role as an agent is to look out for the best interest of our client. And so from the buyer's perspective, I'm trying to get them the lowest price I possibly can. I want to get them the best low deal that they can get into. From the seller's perspective, I'm trying to get the highest price. And again, that's a generalization. Certainly there's other pieces there, but it is very hard. And I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it's very hard to really serve both of those people and say that I am loyal to you. I am advocating for you. I'm advocating for the seller to get the highest price. But then, I'm not advocating for the buyer on that side then too. So it is a deal, something to consider. We do not take that on. In our office, we don't accept that. I am a big proponent against limited dual agency. Some agents would fight me on that, and I invite the fight. I really do. Send me hate mail, whatever you want. I hate limited agency. I hate dual agency. I wish it would go away.
How could you best represent both parties in the same transaction? How are you doing your full service your fiduciary responsibility? How can you do that when you're representing two parties that are in a way dueling, kind of? They may have their own priorities, but if both of them, price is the most important thing to both of them. The buyer absolutely wants the lowest price and the seller wants the absolute highest price. How can you represent both of them? How are you advising them appropriately without sliding the other one?
And legally representing them. Again, we have confidentiality things and things like that. I mean, and I'm not suggesting that people break confidentiality, but it is a very fine line. And guys, here's the other thing too. Even if you handle it perfectly, you do it exactly the way the law says, you do everything you're supposed to do, what does that client think? Doesn't matter. I did the right thing, and people are still going to be out there thinking, you know what, that guy did not do what I thought he was going to do. He was working further to the side, and so there's this doubt in the back of their mind that they're thinking that, maybe I didn't get the best deal, even though they did. They got everything is on the straight up and up, and it's just something that they're always questioning exactly. And so then, what's the long-term goal there? I just lost one or both of those clients from future transactions, future referrals and all that. That thing is gone. So I got two commissions. I got both sides. I got the me deal. But remember, it's not about you. It's not about you. Stop me. I hate that expression.
Agreed.
Get off my tangent there. I told you I would. And I'm reining it in. Okay, but just something to consider. The last thing that we get into on this is just, what does it take to become a legendary agent? And again, it takes that change of your mind. It's the perspective that it's not about me. So the steps are very easy here. We've kind of outlined it. Everybody get out a piece of paper and a pencil because this is really complicated. Step 1, get your client. Okay, that's easy. That's all you have to do is get your client. Now, I understand this. I'm being facetious here. There's a little bit more to it, but you get your client. Step 2, treat that client like a king or a queen. Treat them like the most important thing that you're working through. Make it about them, not about you. Be passionate about them and all that. And do that over and over again. If you do that, you get the client, you treat them like the king and the queen, they're going to see that. They're going to go out and they're going to tell people about you. They're going to become raving fans about you. They're going to say, you know what, when I buy a home in the future, I'm coming to go see Brian. I'm going to go see Cate. I'm going to go see this agent. I love what they did. They're going to be at their family functions telling aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters and friends and coworkers, this agent rocked it. You know, they could have sold me on the first home we saw and we might have bought it, but they pointed some things out. They said, you know, hey, think about this thing, think about that thing. And they didn't think about themselves.
Yeah.
They thought about me.
Yep.
And that is so passionate there. I get passionate here, but they love that thing. And it really turns them into raving fans. That clients reward that good behavior.
Yes. They're going to send you more and more referrals. And again, those referrals are warm leads. So if those clients, the main client sends you a referral, they're going to be like, Brian did this amazing job. Oh my gosh. We wanted to back out of this deal and he didn't even blink an eye at it. He was like, okay, no problem. Back out. We'll find something else.
Yep.
And it wasn't about him closing the deal and getting a commission. And in doing that, they're going to send you to somebody else and they're going to shout your praises. And then the people that come to you as referrals are going to love you even more. So it's easy.
I'll use a Cate phrase here. As a side note tangent.
Side note tangent.
She loves side note tangents. Yes. There's an issue sometimes we run into, with all of that in mind, working with family and friends.
Oh, yes.
It is a tough situation that you might also want to think about. Again, it's thinking about your clients, but your family and your friends really, really, really want you to think about them. And they remind you all the time how much they want you to think about them. They think that most of the time, I want to be generic in saying this, but a lot of them really want the above and beyond service.
Absolutely.
And sometimes even want it at a discount too. So just thinking about that they are a potential referral source.
Absolutely. And I would say this is where too, that they see you in your comfortable light, you know, Thanksgiving dinner, unbutton the jeans and, you know, you're just being yourself and being real. But you want to keep that professional, knowledgeable attitude with your friends and family. I would use family more closely, that, hey, if you're working with a family member, you definitely treat them as if they are the Queen of England, because those are the people that you really, like you said, you have to overly impress them and make sure that they know that they want to feel that they are getting that extra special care. And like you said, maybe even at a bit of a discount, but in doing so, they're going to shout your praises as well. So they may be a little harder to please sometimes, and you'll want to handle them with kid gloves, but make sure you're showing them your professional side, because they may see your relaxed side on a regular basis. They need to see that you know what you're doing. You would think it's the opposite, that, oh, you know what, this is my brother or whatnot, I'm going to show up in my scrubby pajama pants and whatnot for a showing. No, I know, I like my pajama pants.
No, you look good in them, so I'll give you your kudos.
But, you know, dress up, be professional, present that image to them so that they can see you as a professional, and treat them with that extra special care.
Yeah, and you mentioned being relaxed in that situation. It is very easy for us. Again, when we're working with family, with friends, that we're hanging out at bars, we're hanging out at the family, we're out doing this thing, and it's easy to get relaxed with them and then become lazy with them, and that is not good either. So just be very cognizant
with regard
of those
to that lazy, relaxed attitude or whatnot, when you're with your family sometimes and you're close friends, sometimes we feel comfortable enough that we are in a position where we want to complain about our other clients. Don't be venting about your clients around your family and your friends, because those are potential referral partners, and you don't want them thinking that you're complaining about them behind their backs. So we all have those rough transactions, and that's where, again, maybe your accountability partner or your coworkers, hopefully we try to create a safe environment with our office that, you know what, this is your safe space to vent. If you have a rough transaction, it's okay. You can let it out here. But be cautious in what you're sharing with friends and family.
Absolutely. Could come back and bite you.
Yeah.
So guys, again, think about your clients. It's not about you. Keep them at your forefront. Keep your clients, your co-agents, your company and your commission in perspective. Keep them in that order. Have a passion for that. Have a positive attitude toward your clients. Keep those things in line and you are going to rock it. You're going to have people that love you, that rave about you, and bring in money and bring in business like you'll never see again. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. You can find me at brianclee.com. Take care and make your day legendary.
You've been listening to Real Estate Between the Lines with Brian Lee. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a legendary agent, be sure to visit us at brianclee.com and sign up to hear about upcoming workshops and events. Now go out there and turn your clients into raving fans.